Just a couple of minutes. I just want to make sure the room is as filled up as possible, and then we make a start.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Please, if you could help us mute your mic as you are coming in, it will really, really help us. Okay, I think we are 123.
Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Thank you. If you could help us mute your mic, please. We'll be making a start shortly.
Okay, sir. Let me.
Thank you so much, everyone. If you could please put in the chat box where you are joining us from, it will kind of help me to have an idea of the dynamics of our locations, Zimbabwe, Kenya, Abia State, the UK, Nigeria, Birmingham. Amazing, amazing. We have people from Abbeywood. Oh, wow. Abbeywood is just around the corner. I used to work at Abbeywood Station. USA, UK, Swansea, Ipswich. Wow. Lagos, Nigeria. Yeah, Lagos, that's home. You just got your CSCS card. Congratulations. Amazing. Wow. Ghana, Hull, Coventry. Thank you so much all for joining. Okay, I'm just trying to admit more people. I think we should just give it like 10 minutes past 8, and then we just make a start. Germany, I'm just trying to see the list again. Earth, Mr. Ayobalogun, that's very unique. Yeah, you're from Earth. We are all on Earth. Glasgow, Nigerian from Sunderland, amazing. Waltham Forest, near Hertfordshire, amazing. Nigeria, Kaduna, Aberdeen in Scotland. Wow, beautiful. We are 144 in. Nigeria in Plymouth, Bristol, Stoke-on-Trent. So hopefully tonight we will be doing some very, very amazing things. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Just type in the chat box, please, if you can hear me clearly. Thank you. Thank you. So we know that there is no, yes, amazing, amazing. Okay. Okay, 3 more minutes and we will make a start. And what I'll be doing is that I'll also be putting the recording on YouTube. So the whole session will be recorded. The recording will go on YouTube, so you can go back to my YouTube channel and just watch it as many times as you like. It's a lot that we'll be taking in today, and it will be difficult to soak in everything at once. So I've recorded this session. I'll put it on YouTube. You can go back and watch it as many times as you want. And I'll be showing you my slide as well. And you see exactly what I would normally do if I'm looking for work. You see the website, how I approach the website, how I do, how I will do my research from top down. You have a view of that. And that's why I'm doing Zoom, so that I can share my screen and you can see exactly what I am doing. Okay, I think. Okay. 2 minutes to go, and we make a start. How is the weather like wherever you are? It's raining here today, but you know, we have to keep the hustle going. Right. Just 1 minute to go. Okay. The YouTube channel, I'll just share it now so you could we did a session. We did for my birthday. We did a symposium last month as well. All the videos are back, and I've started putting them on YouTube as well. So you can just go there. We had construction professionals, people that were more experienced than myself. We had professionals in tech. We had professionals in academia. We had professionals in tech, academia, project management, in healthcare. All of them were at that session. So in the next couple of days, I'll be uploading that video session as well, so that we can just get as much information as possible. I mean, I don't have anything to sell to you. I just want to give you as much information as possible so you can get to do what you want to do. So anywhere you see my my handle, if you follow it, you know that it's not sales. It is pretty much everything you need to get to where you want to be. So hopefully this last end of the year, we can make very good progress. I will just make a start now, and I will be admitting people in as they come up, but I'll make a start now because we are already 11 minutes past 8. So let me bring up my slide and can start.
Happy.
Please, if you help us to mute the mic, please. I think we've got a guest there.
I'm happy.
Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen, sir.
Okay, thank you so much for confirming that. Okay. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
Very ready, sir.
Okay, good evening, and thank you so much for joining in this evening, Monday, 15th of 2024. Please, if you could, please help us to mute your mic, please. It will really help us to get things going. Out of respect for everyone else, please help us to mute the mic. Okay, so please, I do not want to have to take people off the meeting. Please help us to mute your mic so we can get going. Okay. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us this evening whilst we walk through how to get into construction in the UK. I'll try and make the slides as quickly as possible, and then I'll take as much questions as possible, because what I have found out in this kind of sessions is that the the questions sometimes bring about the places that we've not touched before. And it will be good to take as much questions as possible. So I'll run through the slide as quickly as I can, and then I'll take as much questions as possible so that everyone can go and take away their action points. Okay, so getting a job in the UK construction industry, that is the title of the session that we are having. And we want to understand how big construction is in the West in particular. Growing up, I grew up in Mushin, Lagos, Nigeria. A lot of people that follow me, they know my story. And we used to, you know, when we travel around and we go around, there's one bus stop that they call Ijora Beauty Costain. So we just used to hear Costain then when we were young. I didn't know Costain was a massive construction company, you know. We don't build as much as they build here in the West. I'll give you an example. Dangote Refinery in Nigeria is one of the biggest, if not the biggest construction project that happened in the last few years in Nigeria. But that refinery, I think it cost about $20 billion. When you come to a place like Europe or the UK, you see that there are a couple of that kind of projects going on at every time. You know, when we worked on Crossrail, we did Crossrail, and Crossrail was more than 20 billion pounds in terms of construction value. Immediately, we were rounding up in Crossrail. Some people were already moving to HS2, which is another multi-billion pound construction project. Some people moved from Crossrail, they moved to Hinkley Point C, which is another multi-billion pound construction project. So construction is so big in the West that there is enough for everybody to go around if you are willing to get into the industry and if you are willing to get the skills required to work in the industry. So that is why we are doing this session, to give us as much opportunity to talk about the things that are available in the UK construction industry. And whatever we do for UK today, try and also see if you can duplicate the same for US. Try and see if you can duplicate the same for Europe, because the value of UK construction is about 7-8% of the whole of GDP of UK. If you look at the US, it's just about the same, about 7, 8, 9, 10%. If you look at the EU, it is the same. So it is an industry that is very, very busy in the West. So I want us to take advantage of this. Whatever we do for the UK, you can kind of duplicate the same thing and do it from the US and do it for EU and do it for every part of the world. As long as you have the skills that is needed, you will be able to transition. One mindset that I always want us to take in, particularly us that come from Africa, is that a lot of us watch football, right? We watch football, we watch the likes of Messi that went from Argentina, that came to play in Barcelona. We watch all those players. We watch people like our own players, you know, which ones come to mind? Mikel Obi or our striker that plays for Napoli, you know, all of them, they had skills. The same way football is a skill, that is the same way the skill you have is a skill that is not only marketable in your country, it is also marketable outside your country. So you must first of all absorb that mindset that you are not a local, you are a global talent. So that is what the first thing you have to put in your head, to say, okay, if I have a skill and I'm struggling for jobs in Nigeria, can I get a job outside Nigeria as well? And I want us to flip this construction thinking to that way as well. You can always get a job outside the country. You are not limited to Nigeria alone. You are a global candidate. So once you have that in your mind, you'll be looking at yourself like that, and you'll be working towards that kind of achievement. because it is possible. The people that are doing it, they are not better than you. They may have access to some information, and those are the kind of things we are trying to trash out here. So once you put that at the back of your mind and say, okay, what does it take for me to work in the US as an engineer? What does it take for me to work in the UK as an engineer? What does it take for me to work in Germany as an engineer? Those are the kind of things we want to look at today. And hopefully we can get to the bottom of it, and you can take away actions that you go and use to get whatever you want to achieve. Okay. Let me go back to the slide. I think I've talked too much on that slide number 1. Okay. So just a bit of introduction. I'm Toyi Badewale Adelodun, born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria. I've been living in the UK for over 15 years now. I've worked in UK construction industry for over a decade. I started construction as a laborer. I talk about it a lot, and I worked my way up. Now I work in project management, project planning. I worked as a site engineer. I did loads of jobs before I eventually got into project management. I've worked on Crossrail. I worked on HS2. I've worked in infrastructure. I've worked in house building. I've worked in different parts of the industry. And one thing that has helped me is that I've always tried to ask a lot of questions. Anywhere I go, I'm always asking questions. And that has helped me to be able to gather as much information as possible, which I put out there for anyone that is willing to join in. So you can follow me on all my handles, LinkedIn in particular, because what I want to do in the next few months, any opportunity I see, I want to be sharing it on my LinkedIn. So if you just put my name on LinkedIn, if you follow me on there, I'll be sharing as much as I see. There is, for people that are in the UK, there is a construction event happening in the next few months. All those kind of events are also very important. So as much as I see them, I'll be sharing them, and then we'll be able to take advantage of them. Some of them I'll be able to come there as well, and we can do one-on-ones if we're available. So everything we do here, like I said, will be on YouTube. So if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll be able to catch up on the recording. Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter, if you follow me on Facebook, you know this is what I do all the time, sharing as much information as possible. I think that's enough for introduction. Let us get going. Okay, so 1 second. I think I've jumped one slide there. Let me see if I can go back. Some people are quite late, and hopefully we'll have a bit of a recap towards the end. Okay, so I'll just keep going forward with the slides. Like I said before, the UK construction industry employs millions of people, and it's about 7, 8, depending on which statistics or data set you're looking at, about 7 to 8% of UK GDP. And since I moved here and I joined construction, there has been, like, even during the pandemic, when everywhere was shut down, the construction industry was one of those industries that did not shut down. They just kept on working. We were doing social distancing on site. We were doing so many things on site, but the industry kept on moving. It is just so important for this, for the Western economy. Like, they use construction to really move things. So I was looking at some data online, and in 2024, this is around February 2024, the UK government brought out this construction pipeline slide. It was a big report. And this was one of the things that I caught from that slide. Like, in the next 10 years, there are 660 projects both in the private sector or in the public sector, valued at over 700 billion pounds. This is directly from the government website. So the challenge that UK has presently, and I'm going to give you that insight on that challenge. The challenge that they have is that the industry is an aging industry. There was an interview I watched with the mayor of London, and he said over 50% of the builders in the UK, like people that work in construction, like over 50% of them, they are above 40. Some of them are in their 50s. Some of them are in their 60s. So because it is an aging industry, the country is struggling to replace them. You know, there are not enough people coming in the pipeline to join the industry. There are not enough apprentices. There are not enough people to deal with the job that is even on ground. And then when UK left the EU, there were a lot of people. When I started as a laborer, there were a lot of people that we worked with that came from Romania, Bulgaria, you know, and they didn't need visa to come here. But now that Britain has left the EU, a lot of them have gone back to settle down, and some of them are even discouraged to come. So the door is now open for anyone from all over the world that has the right skills that they are looking for. And we are going to get to that point as well. The people that have the right skills, they can come in and get into the industry and just, you know, grow and develop their career. So this is what is the government is looking at in terms of pipeline. That was the last conservative government, though, because they released this report in February 2024. And then I shared a small snippet of a video that I saw of the new chancellor, who is literally the UK finance minister. The moment she got in, what she did was that press conference where she said the Labour government is going to they are going to go ahead with their plan to build 1.5 million homes in 5 years. And that means that there is going to be a lot of work that is going to open for so many people. So we just want to see how we can benefit from that industry. That was our thing when the press conference she did.
Urgent steps necessary to build the infrastructure that we need, including 1.5 million homes in the next 5 years. So we can rebuild Britain and make every part of our country better.
So that's them visiting sites.
Straight to some of the apprentices here at this building site, bricklayers, quantity surveyors, carpenters. See the work that they're doing to build the homes of the future. 1,300 homes on this brownfield site. A perfect example of the sort of regeneration we want to see.
So that's a video from the Her Majesty's Treasury, and that was the Chancellor and the Deputy Prime Minister visiting construction sites, and they were talking to apprentices. They were doing all what they have to do. So the big problem, as I said, is that there is not enough supply of construction workers getting into the industry, and this is where people like us will come in. Those that have the skills, those that are ready to go all the way, and they can get the jobs that they want. The country gets what they want. You get what they want, what you want, and everybody is happy. Okay, so what are the earning potentials that are there in the construction industry? Because it's very, very important for people to know that this industry pays very, very well. There are a lot of people that don't know what the construction industry pays. When I started as a laborer more than 10 years ago, we were getting about £6 an hour. But now, if you go around in the industry, some laborers are getting £13 an hour. That's just laborer. Some laborers are getting £14 an hour. But we must not forget, for those of us that want to come from abroad, you cannot come from abroad and get a skilled worker visa to be a laborer. That is very important. We must get that point clear. To be a laborer, it is for people that are already here in the UK. I will break it down on what you need to do and how you need to go about it. So it's very important we get that message very clear, because sometimes I get a lot of messages that say, I want to come to the UK to be a laborer. You will rarely get a skilled worker visa to come as a laborer. The only areas where I can say you can get a skilled worker visa is if you go to, there are some jobs in farming, maybe during the season when they are harvesting, there are some jobs that come like that they give skilled worker visa to people that want to work on the farm. Those jobs are very, very tedious and hard. But to get that skilled worker visa, you still have to pass your English test. Those are the kind of jobs that you can get skilled worker visa for, even though it is a low-end job in terms of like laboring or things like that. So I just wanted to get that very clear. So experienced bricklayers, experienced plumbers, site engineers, welders, crane driver, slingers, and all of that, they are earning well. I mean, we are going to go through it and you will see exactly what I am talking about. And the blue collar industry is also well compensated as well. Quantities of project managers, consultants, all of them are well compensated. It's an industry that is doing really, really well. And most sites are like 8 to 6, 10 hours a day. You know, there are some sites that do weekends as well. Whenever we are planning to hand over, some sites do like 7 days a week. When I was working on Crossrail, we were doing 2 shifts, day and night, and it was Monday to Sunday. I know people that were able, I had a friend, Mike, is an electrician. The money that he gathered to buy his property, he made it at Crossrail because he was an electrician and they were working back to back, like 12 days on, 2 days off. You know, they were working back to back. That is how busy construction can get. So if you are skilled and you are ready to put in the effort, there are a lot of opportunities in the industry. Okay, so there is 2 parts that it is important that we understand. There is the consulting part of construction, and there is also the contracting part of construction. So what I did at the end of the slide was that I was able to put together 150, 150 UK construction consulting firms that you can check and put their names in, put their names around. What I'll try and do, I'll attach this slide, I'll attach it to the YouTube video, and then you'll be able to download it as well and use it as however you deem fit. So I was able to put 150 construction consulting firms that you can put their name in Google. You can go to their career section and go and see the jobs that they have. I also put 100 construction contracting firms as well, that you can check and see the jobs that they have. So you have at least 250 companies that you are going to go away with today. And I also put another 20 agencies. So you have about 270 companies that you're going to go in today, and you're going to go and do your research on them. So which part of the industry do you want to be in? Or which skills do you have already? Are you a quantity surveyor? Are you a project manager? Are you a project planner? Or are you a site person? Let's say you are a bricklayer, or you are a painter, or you are a plumber. You have to differentiate that. And that will help you to navigate to narrow down your search when you are looking at companies. That is very, very important. So what will determine what you are applying for is based on the skills you have and the skills you are also planning to have. So what skills do you have already? Did you go to a trade school? Did you go to university to study? Or whatever you do, there is room for you in the industry. But we must not forget that there will be qualifications, and those qualifications, we will go through them and you will see exactly what I am talking about. So what skills do you have already? What skills are you planning to get? And what are the employers looking for? That is very, very important. We must not forget what the employers are looking for, because that is what will determine if we will get that job or not. And a lot of us that are applying from abroad, these employers are going to be paying a certain fee, to bring us, to sponsor our visas. So it is very, very important to know that that person or that company that is going to pay money to sponsor your visa will have to be sure that you are actually going to contribute positively to their company. That is why you may go through a lot of interviews, you may go through a lot of applications, and you are not quickly getting what you want is not a reflection on you. Sometimes these people do not know the value that you bring. And then when you now get in, you finally got the job and you are on the job and you see your boss comes to meet you and say, wow, thank God we got you on our job. Look at how you are doing this. Look at how you are doing that. And then you now look at yourself and think like, so that means those people that didn't, that served me breakfast, that we normally call it, all those people, like, they missed out on you because you are actually a valuable person. So when you are making those applications and you are getting refusals, please do not let it get to you at all. Sometimes it happens like that. It is no reflection on you. It is just the way the market is. So as much as there is job opportunities, you still have to put in the effort and make sure you don't leave any stone unturned. You are applying to as many roles as possible. And that is what I would say about what the employers are looking for. Okay, let's head on. So there are several ways to get into the industry. There are several ways. And I'll break it into different parts. Number one, we talked about consulting and contracting. There are people that will work in the office and there are people that will work on site. If you are going to work in the office, let's say you are working as a quantity surveyor or you're going to work as a project manager, there are some certifications that increases your value in the marketplace. There are some certifications that make it very good for employers to want to bring you closer. You see what I mean? So there are also professional organizations that are important for you to join as well. Like if you are going to be a quantity surveyor, you can be a member of RICS. That is very, very important. And if you are going to work in project management, you have to understand the kind of contracts that they use here in the UK. If you are working in infrastructure projects, they use NEC contracts. If you are working in house building, a lot of house building use JCT contracts, the Joint Contract Tribunal. So if you are going to apply for those kind of roles, when you are putting your CV together, you have to demonstrate that you already know the things that we do here in the UK, like the CDM regulations. You have to have an idea of what the CDM regulations are and how it is applicable on a construction site in the UK. Those are the kind of things that you have to do. There are a lot of civil engineers in Nigeria that are registered with Coren. A lot of employers here in the UK may not, recognize Coren. So you have to look and say, what professional organization is equivalent here in the UK that is the same with the one that I have in Nigeria? You can be looking at ARB for architects. You can be looking at ICE for civil engineers. You can be looking at IMEC for mechanical engineers. All those kind of things will always strengthen your position when you are planning to apply for jobs in the UK. And then there is something we call the RIBA plan of work, which is how construction works in the UK from conception to delivery. You have to understand those kind of concepts. When they say they release stage 4 drawings, or when they say they release concept design, how does that work? In line with the way construction is going to go from conception to delivery. You have to go and delve into those kind of things, because even if you pass the CV stage and they now interview you, those are the kind of things that they want to test to see if you have an idea of how construction works. So apart from putting your CV out, you want to go on YouTube, you want to go and watch those NEC conferences, you want to go and watch those UK construction podcasts. You want to make sure that anything that is UK construction, that is what you are spending your spare time on, because you'll be surprised that you watch something and they will share some points. Maybe somebody that has 20 years experience in industry will share some points. That's why I was talking about that symposium that we did. When we did the engineering panel, we had people that had 10, 15 years experience. We had people that had 12 years experience. They were on that panel. and they were just sharing and sharing and sharing information. So those kind of things, you want to sit down and in it, because it will give you an idea of what is going on in the industry and how you can apply it to the application that you are putting in. We are going to go through some jobs now, later on, and then you will see exactly what the employers are looking for. And I did a video that I posted one time, and I talked about the reason why some people are not getting the job, because they prioritize quantity over quality. They're just sending the same CV, boom, 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 everywhere. You have to make sure that every job you apply for, you sit down and read the job description clearly. You look at your CV and you make sure your CV is, you curate your CV, all the skills that you have in the past that matches what that employer is looking for. Those are the skills that you want to bring to the top, not the skills you gain in industry that is not useful to that particular job. So those kind of things, we have to make sure we put them in place. The bits that I've written here is mainly for people that want to work on site. We've talked about people that want to work in consulting, RICS, understanding RIBA plan of work, all those professional organizations, doing like NEC project manager training, all those kind of things will give you an edge. If you are a quantity surveyor in the UK, you must have a knowledge of contracts, because you'll be releasing early warning, you'll be dealing with compensation events, and those kind of things will be in NEC contract. Because when you are dealing with compensation events, or when you are doing with delay notices in JCT contracts, they expect you to have an idea of what is going on. And this is why I plead to you, if you are applying for this, please do your assessment very, very well. Please, if you can help us to mute your mic so that it can just make sure that the audio quality is good. Okay. I'm just jumping into the chat quickly, see if somebody is putting anything there. I hope we are enjoying the session so far. Please put in the comments if you are finding the session useful. We are going to be going deep down now. Okay. So if you want to work, if you want to be a site person, there are several ways to work on a construction site in the UK. And I'll break it down into two. If you are already here in the UK, it is easier to do these things, do CSCS card. CSCS is like the basic requirement it's like an health and safety, it's just like health and safety card. That is the minimum card you need to be able to get on a construction site to work. It is harder for people to do it if they are coming from home. But if you are here in the UK, it is important you try and get that CSCS card done. So if you have no construction background, before, that means you'll have to apply for the CSCS and try and work as a laborer on site. But like I said before, if you are coming from home, you cannot come here to work as a laborer. But if you are here already and you have the full rights to work, you can work as a laborer on a construction site. Earlier this year, I met a young man at one event that I did. He's still studying, he's still in the university. And he said he wants to work in construction. I said, go and get your CSCS card. And I gave him everything he needs to do. He did the one-day health and safety training, just as I've put it here. He wrote the CSCS test, and he ordered the CSCS card. Just recently, he messaged me that he has been able to get a job all through this summer. And now he's already working on a construction site as a laborer. And that is because there is a lot of demand. There is not enough people to fill in these roles. So he was able to get a job. Some people might say it took them a while, but if you keep applying, you get a role. So if you have no construction skill before, and you're already here in the UK, one-day health and safety training, CSCS test, and you order the CSCS card. I'll put all the links into the slide, and you'll be able to get them as well when I upload everything onto YouTube. If you now have a construction background, let's say you have done engineering, you've done so many things in construction related before, then you don't need to start from green CSCS card. You can get the white CSCS card, which is the academically qualified person. So let's say you have a degree in engineering, you are going to send that degree to this company that they call ECTIS. So ECTIS will do the evaluation of your degree. They will charge you for it, and then they will give you a statement of comparability. I think that's a statement that they will give you, and that is the statement you will now use to apply for your white CSCS card after you have done the MAP test, which is the managers and professionals test. All the links will be there, and then you'll be able to follow through on that kind of instruction as well. And I'll try and take as much questions as possible so that we are all satisfied before we leave here tonight. So we've touched on the green CSCS card, and we've touched on the white CSCS card. There are also trades, maybe like electricians or plumbers, or all these people that have trade qualifications. The UK respects MVQ a lot. Most companies, if you go now and we go and look for jobs, you see that they are asking for MVQs, MVQs, MVQs. That's what most tradespeople have. If you ask an electrician, you see the electrician has got MVQ2 or MVQ3. So if you are here already and you are planning to get into the industry as a tradesperson, you can do that MVQ by assessment, or you can do it by going to college. So you have to apply to a lot of companies, electrical companies, if you are here already. But if you are coming in from abroad, most of these companies will want you to have that MVQ already. So you have to go and see how you can get qualifications like City and Guilds, because City and Guilds is the equivalent. They also do MVQ qualifications, and those are the kind of certificates that will be of advantage to you when you are applying to those roles. Almost every electrician that I know in the UK will talk about the 18th edition. The 18th edition is one book that electricians used to use. So you can put it on Google now and just check 18th edition. It will give you the information about UK wiring, how UK wire, how they test, all those kind of things. It is very, very different. If you're also working as an engineer, or you want to work in where they are doing structural calculations and things like that, you have to understand all the British standards, all the Euro codes. Those are the kind of things that may be slightly different from what we've learned before. And these are the kind of things that they will test you as well during the interview. So it is very, very important to have those information and know what is particular to you as well. So if you are here already as well and you're looking to work as a site manager, they expect you to have things like SMSTS, 3-day first aid. Those are the kind of things that will make your application very, very strong. So that's why I'm just highlighting it. I'm touching on it bit by bit. But when we get to the questions, we will take each person's questions and we'll be very, very particular about the things that we are talking about. Okay, so we've talked about the green card. Like I said, 1 day health and safety training. You pass the CITB test. That is the link to do the CITB test, and that is the link to order the CSCS card. If it is a white card of academically qualified person, you evaluate your transcript. That is ECTIS website. You do the MAP test, the managers and professional test, and then you order the white CSCS card, and that's the link to order the white CSCS card. Okay, somebody is asking a question there, and I just want to pop something in quickly. He said, for the white CSCS card, do you need ECTIS verification if you have a master's here in the UK? If your master's is already a UK master's, so you don't need ECTIS. You don't need ECTIS evaluation because you already have a UK master's. Once you do your MAP test and you request for a card, you apply for your card with CSCS, they will ask for your master's certificate, and then they will be able to give you. You don't need ECTIS if you have a UK master's or a UK degree. You don't need ECTIS anymore. Just go for the white CSCS card straight. Okay, what is the advantage of a green CSCS card over a white CSCS card? A green CSCS card is a laborer's card. They will write it at the back. They will write at the back that it is laborer, you know, and you can imagine the kind of jobs you'll be able to apply for. You will only be able to apply for a laboring job. But if you put a white card, which is academically qualified, it shows that you are, I think a degree is the same thing as NVQ level 5 or level 6. That is what a degree is equivalent. So when you now have that at the back of your card, with other qualifications that you have, you'll be able to work, let's say, like assistant site manager. You know, that they will not give somebody that has a green card, they will not tell that person to come and work as assistant site manager, because when they see the card, they will know that this person does not have industry experience. You see what I mean? So that is what we need to clarify carefully. I'll come back to questions. I just saw those ones that jumped to me, and then that's why I'm taking it. So when you are applying from abroad or when you are here in the UK, what you need from employers are different. Let's say, for example, there is someone that has come now and their partner already has a skilled worker visa, you know, that means that person is already free to do any work. That person does not have work restrictions. So that person can apply to agency, you can apply anywhere because there is no work restrictions with you. But there are some of us that want employers that can actually sponsor our visas. So the way we are going to approach the job is different because we are actually looking for employers that will sponsor our visas. For you to get an employer that will sponsor your visa, there is a list of licensed employers in the UK that can sponsor your visa. If you look at that list that I said I put together earlier, that list of 150 consulting firms and 100 contractors, which gives you 250 companies, what you are going to do is to take those names of those companies and check them to see if they are on that list of licensed registered. And when you see them on that list, then you will know that this company has a license to sponsor your visa, and then you are able to apply for a role with that company. I hope that was very clear the way I explained it there. You want to make sure that if you are looking for somebody that will sponsor your visa, the company that you are applying to must be on that list of sponsors. That is very, very important. So those lists that I gave you, that 250 companies that I gave you, you want to make sure you put those names, you put it on that sponsors register to check to see if they are on that register. And when they are on that register, you can now put them to one side and say, definitely this one is on the register, I'll keep applying to them. I'll put the list in the chat so that you'll be able to get it at some point. Okay, so you can apply directly to companies, you can apply through agencies. Agencies can be strict. And the reasons why agencies can be strict is that they have a relationship with all these employers. So they are also taking a cut. So if the company is paying you like £20 an hour, an agency might be collecting £30 an hour from the company. So the agency will not want to send somebody that will ruin that relationship. So that is why agencies are more strict. So I would say go directly to these companies first, apply directly on their website, and then before you start looking at agency. That is very, very important. So once you get the jobs, start making contacts, because there are some of you that are already master student now, and you're going to get your 2 years post-study work visa. That 2 years post-study work visa, you want to make sure you get into the industry as quickly as possible. Maybe as an assistant site manager or something. There are people that were able to get jobs in all these companies, and then when they prove themselves, they perform well on the job, the company is now looking to say, before your 2 year runs out, I will make sure I sponsor your visa. So those are the kind of things that we want to look at as somebody that is just graduating, or somebody that is just graduating from university, maybe as a degree holder or as a master's holder. You want to be looking straight away at these companies and say, these are the companies where I want to spend my post-study work visa. And then you'll be able to work your way up and get sponsorship from them. Okay, there are some companies where you can apply to: CV Library, Total Jobs, Indeed, Skills Provision. I want you to make sure once you register to all of these websites, you set your notification. It is very, very important to put notification on. Every day, these websites will send you the list of jobs that people post there. You see what I mean? If it is not the job you like, you can at least read the job description and understand. You have to spend some time on this thing. It is very, very important. And I can assure you, if you spend time on it, you will get that thing that you want. One of our brothers recently got an electrician job straight away from Nigeria. And what he did was that he went to do City and Guilds, just exactly as I said before. He did City and Guilds, and he had experience in electrical installations. He went through some jobs, he went through some interviews, he eventually found a company that sponsored him straight away from Nigeria. So these things are very, very possible. But we have to be sure to say, this is what the employer wants, this is what I have, and this is how I am going to merge, I'm going to draw a line. If I need to go and do this qualification, let me go and do it. If I need to go and top up on this knowledge, let me go and top up on it. I'm going to give you as much information as possible now, so that you see exactly what we are talking about, and then you'll be able to take it from there. Because the industry is very serious. The industry is, like I said, it is billions and billions of pounds. We want to make sure that we are strategically positioning ourselves in such a way that we are able to grab these opportunities. So these are websites that you can look for jobs. I'll open some of them and you'll see exactly what I am talking about. Okay, so when you are working on site, and you are already here in the UK, there are a lot of jobs that are on construction sites. Like I said, traffic marshal. A traffic marshal is somebody that just directs traffic into the site. So once you get a job as a laborer, you can go and do a traffic marshal training of like £100, and then call the agencies and be like, agency, I've got a traffic marshal ticket, and they will ask you, you give them all those qualifications, and then you can go and start working as a traffic marshal. A banksman, like, there are different types of banksman. Somebody that banks, what do I call it? Maybe like a forklift driver, or all those kind of, or a dumper. You can do that on site and work as somebody that banks that. And there are also crane banksman. They call them signaler. So you hold a radio, you are talking to the crane driver, you are the one telling the crane driver how to do it, you are the one tying the thing that the crane wants to lift, you are the one tying it in such a way that it doesn't drop from the crane, and the crane is lifting it. That is another job role as well. Dumper driver, forklift driver, welfare laborer, there is hoist driver, there is construction security. That is when you miss your CSCS card with SIA badge. There is electrician's mate. If you're already here in the UK, you can get into the industry by being an electrician's mate. And then from then on, I saw somebody that went in and they put him in the store of electrician. When they put him in the store, they started telling him, do you want to take qualifications? And he said, yes. And they are already telling him, okay, this is how you're going to get your MBQ, and gradually he's making contacts, and very soon he will ride on that wave. In the next few years, you'll see him as an electrician. Shuttering carpenter, joiner, it's our normal carpenter that we call in Nigeria. All those kind of crane driver as well. A crane driver can be, some good crane drivers get up to £30 an hour. So there is work in this industry, but we have to match the qualifications, that the employers are looking for, and try and figure out how we are going to get exactly what we want. Okay. If you give me just 1 second. Okay, so what I did here is that, oh my God. Okay, what I did here is that I put 150 construction consulting firms here. So if you are a quantity surveyor, if you are a project manager, if you are a planning engineer, whatever you are doing, all these companies are a UK consulting companies. And they do consulting, they do design, construction, everything that you want are in these companies. So it's 150 of them that I packed and I put there. You can always check them. Like I said, I will attach this to the video when I upload it on YouTube. You can copy all of those companies, go and be checking their career section. I'll give you a typical example of how you can do it. Go and be checking their career sections, go and be seeing the jobs that they are putting out, be getting ready your cover letter, how you want your cover letter to be, the kind of information you want in your cover letter. Start getting those things ready, and then you'll be able to position yourself and apply to those roles. And these are also 100 construction contractors like Balfour Beatty, Morgan Sindall, Kia Group, Amy, Mace, Linoro. All of these companies are always actively recruiting. You know, some of them are doing apprenticeship. So if you're already here and your child is like 17, 18, and you want your child to get into construction industry, all of these companies keep an eye out for their apprenticeship, and you will not miss road. I went to school with people that did apprenticeship, and they are doing very, very well. Okay, so, and I put another 20 agencies here. There are more than that. There are loads of them. I put just 20 here so that you can also take advantage of them, reach out to them, check their websites, see the jobs they are putting out there, and then you'll be able to take advantage of the opportunities that, that they have. I think that is the end of the slide now. But what I will do is to give you a typical example of how I will look at those companies and how I will search for those jobs. Just give me a second. Okay, I'll stop sharing this for now. And just give me 1 second. I just want to pick a couple of books for you to see what I am saying. This book was very good too. I hope we are enjoying the session.
Yeah, very much, very much. It's so informative.
Yes, we are enjoying you. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the knowledge you are passing through.
Yes. Yeah, we're enjoying you, sir.
I'm just trying to figure out a couple of books that are very related to what we are talking about. Okay. Right. Okay. So there are a lot of construction books that you can download online. You see, there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them, like I said. This place is a place of knowledge. They really, really want you to know your stuff. And I want you to please do as much research as possible. Watch as much videos as possible, just to understand how the industry works. Because particularly if you are applying from abroad, it is a different ball game entirely. This is one book that talks about construction. Some of them I read, and I just want to figure out how these things work and understand what is going on. I was going out one day and somebody put these NEC contract books outside. That is a whole pack of NEC books. You see, it has the engineering and construction short contracts. It has the flow chart as well, you know, the guidance notes. You see, that's the guidance notes of the NEC 3. And NEC has even moved forward. There's NEC 4 as well that they are using on some projects. So if you are going to be a person that is going to work in that industry, you have to have that knowledge. So go online. If you are going to be a quantity surveyor, go and watch NEC conferences. A lot of them are on YouTube. You have an idea of what it takes, how quantity surveyors apply NEC contracts. And there is also one website that I was introduced to recently. It's like an AI website. I'll show you how I use it myself. You know, it's something that you can sign up to. And someone is asking where you can get the books. Search for it online. You might be able to buy it. You may be able to find some PDFs somewhere, but they are very, very expensive to buy. But you can watch videos, find the downloadable ones. Some people leave the free links everywhere, but just make sure you at least, first of all, understand what you need, and then you can now start looking for something like it. So let me just share another thing quickly. Okay. All right. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Hello.
Yes,
Please put in the comments.
Yes, sir, but it's not true.
Yes,
Okay.
sure.
Okay. Okay. So this is you know, when we have ChatGPT, if you can mute your mic, please. Okay, I can understand that you can hear me now. So, you know, we used to talk about ChatGPT. Some people here in the UK, they developed the ChatGPT for UK construction. And I was one of the people that they allowed to have early access to it. So if you go to constructai.com, this website, if you go to constructai.com, you will be able to sign up. I think you can sign up with a LinkedIn profile. And when you sign up with a LinkedIn profile, or maybe, I don't think you can sign up with your email. I think you need to have a LinkedIn profile to sign up. And then when you sign up, you'll be able to ask some small questions about construction. Look at this question that I asked now. I said, can you help me? Can you give me a sequence of activities for a construction fit-out program of works? You know, and I put it there, and it told me that, okay, reconstruction phase, site preparation, structural works, first fix M&E, second fix M&E, the finishing work, which is the dry lining, fixtures and pasting, testing and commissioning, snagging and handover. He was able to break that down for me. So if I come in now and I say, okay, I'll just say, how can a quantity surveyor abroad find a job in UK? You know, so it's not going to be definite, but it will give you some things that you can go and work on. Let's see what it's going to come back and say. Where did you go? Ask your question. Oh, you say my session is over. Hold on, I'll sign in once again, and then we'll see. One second. Let me just sign in once again. Construct AI. I'm just going to share again. So hopefully. I think you should be seeing my screen again now.
Yes, it's just sharing, it's loading.
How can a quantity surveyor Okay. Right. You can see what we are talking about now. You can see it loading. You can see how much answers he gave me there straight away. Are you able to see that?
Yes, we can see it.
Aha. So you can see that straight away there is saying, understanding the qualifications, ensure that your qualifications are recognized in the UK. A degree in quantity surveying field or its related field is typically required. So you can see the professional qualifications that he was talking about. You know, I mentioned this RICS earlier. So if you are a quantity surveyor, it is important to check this RICS. And then he now talks about visa and work permit, you know, job offer, salary requirements, how to do your job search, online job portals. You can see Indeed, Read, Total Jobs, LinkedIn for quantity surveying positions. You can use recruitment agencies. You can use company websites. You can see that those are all the things that I mentioned earlier. Professional networking, like going to events, attending events. If you're already here in the UK, you have that advantage. There should be no construction event going on that you don't know about. You see, the application process, your CV and cover letter, the interview process, relocation consideration, and all of that, those are, you know, RICS, CIOB, Chartered Institute of Building. So you want to know all those professional qualifications, as I mentioned before, RICS, CIOB, ICE, you know, all of them, IMEC-E, iStruct-E, all those kind of professional organizations that are related to your field. You want to make sure you have an idea about it. No, now I'm going to ask a question about a bricklayer. Bricklayer. From abroad, finding work in the UK. You tell you to understand the rules and the requirements as well. Same thing. And he'll just give you all of that. What are the qualifications? Oh, it's gone off again. So when you sign up to this kind of website, you'll be able to like just ask it some little bits of questions, and it's going to give you an idea of the things that you need. So I was talking earlier about the list of sponsors. So can you still see my screen?
Oh, sir.
No?
Yes, we can.
No.
Yeah, we
It's not
can see
popping up.
it.
Yeah.
Can you see it now?
Yes, sure.
Yes,
You
sir.
can see it now.
Yes,
It's popped up.
we can see it.
Can you see the Excel document?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
sir.
Yes.
Right. So that is the list, the sponsors list of the companies that have the license to sponsor your visa in the UK. I'll put the web link in the chat so that you can have that, you can be able to download it. So if I go on this now and I just put Control F and I say construction, just to use a keyword search, construction, I'll be able to see all the construction companies that are on this list that have the license to sponsor, you know, and then I can now copy each of them, go and look at their respective website and see if they have a job, you know, that I can apply for. Or again, you see that list of 150 companies that I gave you earlier, you can come and check them in this list. You know, first on that list before, we saw Balfour Beatty there. So I'll check Balfour Beatty. Is Balfour Beatty there? Balfour Beatty is there. You can see Balfour Beatty Engineering. There is another company there that I can remember, Mott MacDonald. Is Mott MacDonald there? I couldn't find Mott MacDonald. Let me just use Mott. Maybe they use a different spelling. Okay. I didn't see that there. Wilmot Dixon is another company that was there. Wilmot, let me see, Dixon. Dixon Pharmacy. Wilmot Dixon Group, you see, that is a construction group that has skilled worker visa, and they can take you when you get a job from them, you can request sponsorship. So all of these companies are here, and they are about, I think, about 18,000. 1 second. I think they are much more than that. You can see that's starting from 1. And if you go all the way, what is this? Yeah, that's like 117,000 companies have the license to sponsor. So let me help you drop that link there. You can see that was just updated today. It was just updated today, 15th of July. And that is the link for the list of companies that have the I've just put that there. And then how do you apply for the visa? So this is how to apply for a skilled worker visa. This is the website that shows you everything. I'll put the website there as well, and I'll just give you a quick rundown of how it works. Mr. Chris, I'm dropping the link. Don't worry. I'm dropping it as I'm saying. So that is an overview of how to apply for a skilled worker visa if you are applying from abroad. So you must meet the following requirements to be eligible. Can someone apply for CSCS card from Nigeria? The issue is doing the test. I'm not sure they have test centers in Nigeria yet. That is the main challenge. Can someone who works for a laborer, as a laborer, get a company? Just let me catch that question. Can someone who works as a laborer get a company that can sponsor their visa, please? Laborers, the chances of getting sponsorship as a laborer is very, very low. I must be optimistic, like I must be very, very sincere with you. And the reason is that a laborer is not deemed to be a skilled role. That is why laboring is better for somebody that is here already. Maybe like a student that wants to work in the summer, or somebody that is here already, that their partner has a skilled worker visa and they don't, their partner has a skilled worker visa and they don't have restrictions on their work. That kind of person can go ahead and become a laborer and work their way up the ladder. But if you are applying from home, it is hard, like it will be really hard to get a sponsorship as a laborer because the barrier to enter as a laborer is very, very low. This is the thing that you have to understand. So if you look at this now, as they are saying, in your job, you must meet this requirement to be eligible for a skilled worker visa. Number one is that your job is eligible for this visa, and the employer you'll be applying for, you'll be working for a UK employer that has been approved by the Home Office. You see what I mean? And that is the list of the licensed sponsors that have been approved. So what you want is you find a job with somebody that has been approved. That is what you are looking for. So you can do it two ways. You can work your way back from the list. You can start from the list to work your way back, or start from your qualifications and work towards the list. Whichever way you do it is fine. Okay, and this is the minimum that they want you to be earning a year. That is what will be on your contract. They want you to be earning 38,700. But there are some jobs, you know, that are critical to the industry, to the country. Those kind of jobs, they expect you that you can earn lower because those jobs are critical to the country. So that place as well, there are construction jobs in that section, and I'll give you that link as well for you to check. Okay, where you can be paid less. You can see the places where you can be paid less is if your job is on the immigration list, immigration salary list, and these are the jobs that are on the electrician salary list. If you look at it, you see managers, that's the standard rate, that's the lower rate. If you come down, you see musicians, you see welding trade. If you are a welder, you can get lower salary. If you are a boat builder, if you are a bricklayer, you can earn lower salary. If you are a roofer, you can get lower salary. If you are a carpenter, you can get lower salary. If you are a construction and building trade, you can see that you can get a lower salary. That is because construction is very, very critical at the moment. That is why they've lowered the salary. So I'll drop this link for you as well, so that you could follow through. You could follow through on it. All these links, I'll try and put them together and put them in the slides, so that when I upload this on YouTube, you are able to catch up on it and follow it up. So somebody is asking, please drop more electrician role. You have a City and Guilds MBQ level 3. So there is a website that I always want you to look. You know, I was talking about LinkedIn earlier. If you have not followed me on LinkedIn, make sure you are following me now, because I will be sharing those roles as I get them. Okay, so I am on LinkedIn now. I hope you can see my page. Can you see my LinkedIn page?
Yes, we can see.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can.
No problem. I'm just trying to bring as much people in as possible. Admit all. That's my LinkedIn page here. Yeah? So if I go to jobs, okay, if I go to jobs and I type, let's say I type electrician, right? Electrician, United Kingdom, okay? So I go to search, right? So the jobs will be coming up, and then you'll be seeing exactly what they want from an electrician. What did I tell you earlier about 18th edition? You can see what you need, 18th edition. You have to have that qualification. You have to understand how that installation, electrical installation in the UK, and how it works. You can see 18th edition, test and inspection. They want you to know how to test and inspect, and they are offering salary 36,000. So you can now go and check, is Octopus Energy on this list? Let me find it. Octopus Energy. You can see Octopus Energy is there. That means if you are able to get a job with Octopus Energy, you can request for sponsorship. You see the way I'm drawing the two of them together, but you must fulfill two conditions. One condition to get the job, another condition to get the visa with the Home Office. So that is how you have to look at it when you are applying for these roles. Okay, let's go back to the job again. Let's look at another one. Electrician, what do they expect you to have? You can see they want you to have a level 3 engineering apprenticeship, which is like MBQ level 3, okay? And they want you to know the latest British standard 7671 IET wiring regulations. So if you are going to construct your CV, you can already see exactly what the employer wants. You don't want to go around and be talking about something else that is way, way different from what the employer is looking for. Because the employer is not bringing you in to train you. The employer is bringing you in so that you can start working. You see that the moment you start the job, 1, 2, 3 days induction, they already put you on site to start working. So you must be somebody that exactly knows what you are doing. You must have that qualification and you must be competent, because they will interview you and you will see exactly what I am talking about. So when you go and look for jobs like this, you can also come after looking for jobs. I always say look for people, because when you look at people, you will see people that are already doing the job, that are already electricians on the job, and it will help you to look at the qualifications that they have, you know, and you check yourself to see, do I have these qualifications? What else do I need to improve on? You know, I can go ahead and look at this brother now and just see, okay, he's a GIB gold electrician. He's got gold electrician. And what are the qualifications you have? Bang on right there, City and Guilds, level 2. You see what I'm talking about? And that is how you have to do it for whatever career path you decide to choose. If I'm going to apply for a job in America now, I will do the same thing and go and look at what do civil engineers in America, what do they have? Because that will help me in my search, in curating my CV, in doing a skills audit. These things, we cannot go without doing them if we really, really want to get a job in the industry. So I said we should look at people earlier, and you are able to see the kind of people. And you can now come here, and we were looking at jobs earlier, and I look at people, okay? I can now come to people and say, I want to filter by what other filter can I use? Let me see. All the filter, I can come here on LinkedIn and say, I want to filter by school, okay? I can add school and say, okay, I want to filter by people that went to University of Ife. Okay, OAU. Obafemi Awolowo University. So I can pick people that are electricians in the UK and they went to Obafemi Awolowo University, if that is the school that I went. And I'll be able to use this thing to say, okay, maybe I can use that opportunity to network. You know, okay. So you can now see that this guy now, this our brother here, is a power system engineer. He went to OAU and he works in Canada. You know, can I network with him? Can I send him a cold email? Can I, you know, we have to put everything on the line when we are looking for these jobs because they don't want to give it to us. We have to be the one that puts all the energy to say, I want this job to be mine. I want to get, and when you are applying for roles, you apply for 10, 20, 30, but make sure it is quality. Don't just send the same CV and just send it everywhere. Please, it is very, very critical. So that is how to use LinkedIn. Set notifications. You know, when you apply for job, put notifications on so that when the jobs are coming, you will be the ones that will be getting it. I will show you another one now that you can use to apply for jobs. Some people say they don't see this one in Nigeria. Use VPN, you know, use VPN to check it. If you come in now and say you want a job, site engineer, location, London, find the jobs. And then you come in, site engineer, you'll be able to see, this is Volca versus UK. Now come to here and see if you can find Volca. You can see what I'm saying? That's Volca versus UK, the same company that put the job on CV Library. Okay, site engineer, what do they want? What do they expect from a site engineer? Okay. And they even put contact name. You can ring somebody and try and get the job. They didn't put a lot of things in their requirements. Oh, okay. You can look now and see. Look at some site engineering jobs. They are paying as much as £450 a day. You know, £450. What do they want you to do? As a site engineer, they want you to be setting out. How do you set out on site? You can go on YouTube and say setting out. UK construction. Setting out. See, what do setting out engineers do? Somebody has put that video online. You see what I'm talking about? So you have to be that person that does research. You can come back there and say UK construction, electrician. See, somebody has put something there, a day in the life of an apprenticeship electrician. You see what I'm saying? So you have to go out of the way, UK construction. Quantity surveyor. You see somebody has put something out there, you know, construction manager, quantity surveyor, an insight into the day of his quantity surveyor. He's going to tell you what a quantity surveyor does, estimating and quantity, all those things. You have to get involved with them. So with all these job sites like LinkedIn, Indeed, CV Library, set up notifications. And you can see how powerful LinkedIn is, that you can use it to search for people, you can use it to search for jobs. And then when you even come here again, you can even come and search for events. You know, when you look at events, you'll be seeing like, okay, are there any construction events that is happening? See, I can put construction there. Just put construction, and I'm looking at events, you know, and I'll be able to see, okay, are there any events happening around me that I can attend? You know, if you're in the UK, there are places like Eventbrite where you can search for loads and loads of events that are happening here in the UK. Please, if you follow me, I'll be sharing those kind of things as I see them. And I'll try and take this masterclass again, you know, just to give us as much insights into all of these things. I hope this session has been very, very beneficial. So we've talked about what the embassy wants. We've come down to what qualifications you need. We've talked about companies that you can find jobs on. We've talked about the how to apply for visa. We've talked about the shortage occupation list, which used to be the shortage of occupation list before, which is now the immigration salary list, I think. We've talked about how to apply for the visas. We've pretty much touched on everything. So I will please want you to go hard. The opportunities are there. The jobs are there. There is no ifs, there is no buts. What we now need to do is to be that person that the employers are looking for. So I'll look through the questions now and answer as many as possible. So please put your questions in the chat session. I'm just going through them now, one by one. And please let me know if you found this session valuable, if it makes sense, if I explained it well, what you think I could have done better. Please let me know if anything. Wow, there have been lots of questions. So I'm sure I'll get to the end of these questions. So, okay. Right, or I should just draw a line and just start afresh. Okay. Right, okay, thank you so much. Somebody, I'll start from behind. Is there course opportunity in construction in the UK? That's exactly what we have just talked about. If you go through that website that I put in earlier, the companies that are there, those companies have license to sponsor. And those are the construction companies that you apply to. So start putting your question in now. I'm not able to go back as far as possible, but I'll be taking it from here on. So those companies that have license to sponsor, they can sponsor your visa and you can get course, certificate of sponsorship from them. That is why I showed that Excel document earlier. And Excel document earlier, and you can search construction companies there, and then you can also search directly on LinkedIn, take those companies there, put them on LinkedIn. Let me just share something as well quickly. So, give me 1 second. I'm just going to share this now quickly, just to drive home some points. Share my screen. Go to Google. Balfour BT. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing here now. This is part of the companies that was on that list that I was talking about earlier. So if I go here now, this is Balfour BT, for example, and I enter Balfour BT's website, and I go to their career section. You know, we're talking about applying directly, you know, and I go to their career section. If I go to their career section, I can go to job search. And I can go to job search and just click search jobs. I don't know why my laptop is slow today. Okay, search jobs. I can search jobs in project management. Apply now. Okay, you can see these are all the jobs that Balfour BT has available. You see, they've got 74 jobs there available. But do you have the experience that they are talking about? That is the big question. Because if you look at it, what you will be doing, these are the things that you'll be doing. You'll be leading the project team, you'll be managing the supply chain, you'll be ensuring safety standards are met, you'll be managing subcontractors, you know, internal and external design team to meet project deadlines. When you are putting your CV together for that kind of role, your CV should show that you have the experience of doing these things, because they are not, you see, when we were looking for the jobs, there is a place where they put early careers. Those are the people that they are bringing in for internship. You are not coming in as early careers. You are coming as a construction manager. So they are not expecting to train you. They are expecting you to go and start working with this A63 project in Hull. So we must make sure that whatever we are putting in matches these things in quality. And we must not forget that. So if you go as well, if I go back to Google and I say Line O'Rourke, that's Line O'Rourke careers. Immediately I go back to the careers. You know, I was talking about applying directly. Immediately I go to the careers, I can see straight away. You see, UK careers, read more. Save and close. You can see UK careers, read more. And I can go down and see graduates. Those are for graduates. Apprentice, you can see apprentice, summer placement, technical apprentice, experienced professional. Then I go in. Okay, search the database, apply now. You can see there are 92 jobs available here, a senior quantity surveyor. Now, let's look at the difference between quantity surveyor and a senior quantity surveyor. Quantity surveyor, what do they want from you? Form an integral part of the multidisciplinary sub-team responsible for project delivery. What are we looking for? Proven JCT experience. You see, that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. NEC contract, JCT contract. Those are the contracts that we use in the UK. So if you're applying for this role, you have to show that the last jobs that you worked on, you used JCT, you used NEC, And that is how you'll be able to get into this kind of positions. Structures experience is preferable. That means they expect you to have used DACT on a structural kind of project. You see where I'm coming from now? These employers are very, very specific. And we must make sure when we are going for them, we are also specific in our going for them. Okay, let's look at another one, senior quantity surveyor. You see, they want you to be a member of the RICS. You see that I mentioned RICS earlier. So if you have a degree already, you have to find a way to join MRICS. These are the kind of things that will set you apart, that will make it easier for you to get those jobs. Okay. So we've looked at looking for jobs on LinkedIn. We've looked at looking for jobs directly as companies. And we've looked at applying to embassies. You have the link. We've looked at sponsors register. You have the link. So please, the only thing you need now is the motivation to go hard. Like 400 applications, keep applying. Your job is there. Your job is there. There are no shortage of jobs here. It is just how we systematically approach this thing that will give us exactly what we want. Let me take some more questions. Right, okay. I have sponsorship in care and a degree in building with about 5 years site supervisor experience in Nigeria. I'm writing my MAP soon, and after CSCS, what else will help me get a sponsored role directly? If you are a site supervisor, you need something that we call SMSTS. SMSTS is a site manager safety training scheme. You also need a 3-day first aid, because you are going to be working as there's something that we call site manager or site ganga. We used to call it ganga man, because you are going to be working in that role. That role is already in the shortage list. You see what I mean? Because that role is already in the shortage list, you can try to see how you can get into companies like that. Maybe you apply directly or you apply through agencies, because of that as well. If you check your visa, the kind of visa you have, I think you can even already start squeezing some of that job in, because the job you are going to do is on shortage occupation list. So you can be squeezing a few hours in now. So check your visa requirements. By the last time I checked, I believe if that job is on shortage list, if the job that is in demand, you can do about 20 hours. So have a check. So let's say they are covering site over the weekend, or they are doing some weekend site management. You can be starting to sneak that in and get those experience under your belt whilst you chase COS in the industry that you want. Site managers can get COS, no doubt, but you have to be that kind of person that has the experience that the company wants. And you must be relentless, because you get a lot of no's, but you must be very, very relentless in your application. So get SMSTS, get first aid on top of your MAP, and build your CV to be that kind of CV that companies will look at and say, this guy can manage our site. Okay, I'm just going to pick up some questions again. Going to pick up some questions again. What types of jobs are available in the water sector? Water sector, you have Thames Water, you have other big companies that service the water sector in the UK. There's a company called Waits, if I can remember, Waits. And Waits Group is they are construction firms. So if I go and put water, yeah, there's a company called Water Construction Jobs. Okay. Yeah, there's Water Project Manager. There's career opportunities at Thames Water. I'm seeing one there at Meridian Water as well. Thames Water has yes, Meridian Water is another one that I'm seeing here. Thames Water, definitely. They are the major one that I know. And then you can go and say, who are Thames Water subcontractors? Subcontractors. And then you'll be able to see other companies that work under Thames Water, and then you can be able to work with them as well. You know, NG Tunneling, that's one of the Thames Water approved subcontractors. So that is it. And you can go on that Construct AI that I was talking about earlier and just check. Let me just log into that one as well quickly and just say water contractors. Okay. Okay. Right. Yeah, it gave me some engineering firms as well that do water, Thames Water, Sheco Engineering, you know, utilities. So if you put utilities in your search, water utility companies, you see loads of them as well. I just completed my master's in public health promotion here in the UK. I got a certification for health and safety. What I just started a certification for health and safety. What are the opportunities for me in construction industry? Okay, now that you've done your master's in public health, what you want is you have to check all the experience that you've gathered as well in the past, because the UK is big on experience than qualifications. That is why your CV has to show the kind of experience you have. So you cannot just get because you've gone a master's in public health, which is general public health and administration, and you've got a qualification in health and safety now, but where have you used that knowledge in the past? Are you going to come in as an assistant health and safety advisor? You know, in that case, you may need to apply to companies directly, you know, and try and get a role, maybe as somebody that will be writing task briefings on site, that will be writing RAMs on site, that will be shadowing a senior person, you know, and that is very, very tricky if you are looking for sponsorship because you don't have a lot of experience yet. So if you have safety experience in the past, bring all of that to your CV when you are applying for roles, because that is how you need to look at it. And then we also need to look at what conditions are you in terms of immigration presently, because that will determine how much time you have. You know, if you don't have any experience at all and you are looking for COS, how many years will it take you to build that experience? Are you on your post-study work visa? Those kind of things, we have to think about it when you are trying to put yourself forward for that role. So that information you've given me there is not enough for me to say these are the things that are available. But from what I have said, you can see that assistant safety advisor role is there. You can check that on LinkedIn. You can check that on Indeed. Check that on CV Library. You'll be able to see things that are available in that realm in the UK. And then you will now look at your CV. You look at what you have, and then you can say, okay, I think I can match these things together. What type of jobs are available in the water sector? We've talked about that. What opportunities are available for a truck hauling driver? Just put that straight away on LinkedIn, on Google. You will see those companies that are putting roles out. Check out those companies and see if they are on that list that I said, if you are applying from abroad or if you are applying from here, and then you can take advantage of it. Can I assist with CV build-up? I should be able to. It is just the time. It is difficult for me to commit to because of the so much work that I'm doing for myself, you know. I mean, that's why I try to put these things out as freely as possible. It is time. I cannot guarantee that I'll be able to sit down with you and help you build your CV. You know, that is just the challenge. What benefits are online certificates and diploma applying for UK? It depends on what you are applying for. If it is just, if you are just putting, okay, for example, now, if you're a quantity surveyor, as a quantity surveyor, you can learn so many things online. Contracts, you can learn contracts online, added to the things that you've known before in terms of your site experience. It really, really depends what kind of qualification you are getting online and what kind of jobs you are applying for. There are some things that you actually need to have an on-site experience. Let's say like an electrician, for example. An electrician needs to have an on-site experience. You know, you can't get those kind of diplomas online and think it will help you get the job that you want. Okay, I used to work as a plumber in Nigeria. I've been working in security in the UK. How can I switch into construction? You have to find a way to get your MVQ in plumbing. You know, reach out to companies, just put MVQ plumbing training. You'll see a lot of companies that will come up, and then you can give them a phone call and say, look, I want to do MVQ level 2 in plumbing or MVQ level 3 in plumbing. If you have no restrictions to work, you can sign up with them. Some of them will even take you on if they see that you have some experience already. Some of them can even train you. I've seen situations like that. So you just need to put yourself out there that you are looking for work in plumbing and then see what comes out of it. Okay. We've talked about truck hauling. Can HND do ECTIS? Yes, it is important for HND to do ECTIS because even degree will need to do ECTIS. So HND can do ECTIS as well. There's no issues with that. Any tip on how to navigate? If you look at a laboring role, what a laboring role entails, that's somebody that I asking like a CSCS laborer. This period now, a lot of people are going on holiday in this July and this August. It is a good time to keep reaching out to those agencies. And when you put your CV out, what you need for most laboring jobs is that you've been on site before, you've cleaned a site, you've cleared rubbish. You see that most of the things that they ask for are things that you've probably done on a normal, you know, like if you are clearing a house now, some people, if they want to clear a house, they'll ask for somebody that has a CSCS laboring card. And what do you do as a laborer? What we do back then is just to pack rubbish, you know, understand site safety rules. I'm sure by the time you spread your CV to as many agencies as possible, there will be an agency that will call you and give you a chance. Please don't relent. Sometimes it happens like that, but make sure your CV amplifies the things that they expect a laborer to know how to do, which is sweeping site. You see those kind of things. Okay, let me see. I'm just putting that AI. Basic duties of a laborer. What are the basic duties of a laborer? Site preparation and cleanup, setting up sites, loading and unloading materials, transporting materials, supporting tradespeople with tools, erecting fencing, assisting with demolition, landscape, tool maintenance, site maintenance, all those kind of things. They will expect that to be on your CV. They will expect you to have those kind of experiences before. Laboring is very easy to get to, but sometimes there could be challenges. But please make sure you are ringing up. When I was looking for a job as a laborer, I had a whole booklet that I wrote the numbers of all the agencies that are available. In fact, let me give you a link that can show you all the agencies that are in all the agencies that are in UK, and then you can use that list to agencies, find agencies. I'm just trying to pick up all the list of where you can find agencies. Okay, so when I put this thing in the chat, those are the list of construction agencies that you can find in the UK. MVQ, do I need an MVQ to get a job in truck driving? You would need, there are some specific qualifications for truck driving apart from your driver's license. I can't tell you from the top of my head now, but there are some specific qualifications you need as well to, I don't think it is MVQ, it is some, give me a second. Qualifications for truck drive. Okay, truck driver, LGV license. LGV license, and there is also one thing that they normally ask for. It is not coming now, but if you go online, if you go on CV Library that I was on LinkedIn and just put truck driver, you will be able to see when you put truck driver there and you open up like 7 or 10 truck driver roles, you'll be able to see the qualifications. So this is AGV class 2 truck driver, £18 an hour. Okay, what do they want you to have? That did not say. What does this one say? Okay, they want you to have a CPC card. Okay, and then you go and check what is a CPC card. How can you get a CPC card? And then you'll be able to apply for those roles as a truck driver. Thank you for the session. My master's degree is International Logistics and Supply Chain Management, not in construction, though I have a bachelor's in building technology. Finished my master's in September 2024. I finished my master's, or I will finish. Do I still need to do ECTIS? You may not need to do ECTIS, but check with CSCS first. Try and write your MAP test and send your qualification to CSCS. And then CSCS will come back to you and let you know if you need ECTIS or not. But I think they should be able to give you academically qualified card. That's your white CSCS card. As a mechanical engineering graduate, which type of site job can I focus on in construction? A lot. There are a lot of people that did mechanical engineering and they became construction site managers. That is very, very possible. A mechanical engineer can read construction drawings. It depends on where you build your skills on. You can be like a site manager that just manages the work on site based on your site engineering, your mechanical engineering qualifications. You can be a site manager. You can even go on and be a project manager, because even a site engineer, if you know how to do surveying and setting out. So there are a lot of places that you can get into if you are really, really interested. It depends on your visa status presently, what kind of roles you are looking for, and I will say how many applications you are willing to put yourself through. But mechanical engineers, there are a lot of project managers that have mechanical engineering background and they are working in construction. And even if you look at things like HVAC, heating, ventilation, and cooling, air conditioning, mechanical ductwork, if you look at hot water and cold water systems, those are MEP, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. That area as well, you can be an MEP engineer, you can be an MEP designer. There are so many roles that you can work in, because mechanical engineering is directly related to what we do on site. Without mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, we cannot even do anything. MBA graduate with a certification in project management fits to work in construction. Of course, but it just depends on the kind of role that you want and what the employer is looking for. You have to be specific in terms of what you want, because You cannot make your CV the same for everything you are looking for. You have to make sure you curate your CV in such a way. You can work in procurement. You can work in supply chain, you know, because as an MBA graduate, there are so many skills that you are bringing into construction that that is very, very useful. So you have to find that role that matches a confluence of all the things that you've been doing in the past. And that's where I want you to take it in. Don't think there is no role for me. Go in there and look for those jobs, as I said, and then you will say, okay, these jobs have, you know, you can work in procurement with MBA and a knowledge of project management. You can work in procurement, but at what role do you want to come in? Do you want to come in at early careers and build your career to the top, or you want to go in straight from the top? Because as you are working, shadowing on people, you will gain that experience that will propel you. Okay, I'm a QS with HND, but looking to come to UK in January for a top-up degree. Can I get these jobs? Can I apply for these jobs as a student? You can apply as an assistant, depending. There are some contractors that are very, very busy. They are very, very busy in such a way that maybe they can only take you for 1 day a week, where you'll be assisting the senior QS. You know, this is how you are going to put yourself out there. The moment you come in, you can start working on your RICS, you know, how you can join RICS, so that when you graduate, you are able to land a role quickly. You know, how can you join MCIOB with the experience that you have? Those are the kind of things that you'll be looking at immediately you come in. How to join professional organizations, how to network with people that are in the industry. See if you can get 1 day a week with a contractor. Use that to build your knowledge whilst you are studying, and then you'll be able to get the role that you are looking for when you graduate. That Excel document, I've already posted the link earlier on how to get the link of companies that have a sponsorship license. I'll drop it in again, and I'll also try and add it to the YouTube video. Is there a place in construction workforce for a dedicated certified project manager who may not have academic degree? There is opportunities. Your age does not matter. It is the experience that you are bringing to the table that matters. In fact, here in the UK, we don't put age on our CV. You know, they will just want to see the experience that you have, how it matches the job that you are applying for. That is what I want us to take away from this session, more importantly. Like the CV that you are putting out, how does it match the job itself? It's not about your age. Your age does not come in. They just want to see that this person has the experience that we want for this job that we put out there. They will take you on. So please, don't look at your age, and don't bring up barriers for yourself. Go ahead and shoot for that role, please. MSc in environmental management, where are you presently? Are you in the UK or you are in Nigeria? Those details are very, very important to help me come up with something. If MSc is to be completed next year in May, yes, can I still register for CSCS white card, or need to wait to complete your master's? You can use your BSc and evaluate it to get the CSCS card. That is fine. People do that. So please don't wait till the master's is completed, because you want to get out there and be talking to people as much as possible. I hold a master's degree in highway and airfield construction from Ukraine. I gained the qualification, okay, in both Ukraine and Cameroon. You have a lot of experience. You have master's degree in industrial and structural engineering. You know, there is room for you here in the UK. But what you want to do is to start looking for roles. If you are doing a master's in industrial and structural engineering, that means you can do design. There are a lot of construction design companies that do structural design here in the UK. That list of 100, I think I can even copy all the companies and copy them here for you so that you can just take that away, right now. You know, so all these companies, all these consulting companies, sometimes they said the message is too long. I was trying to copy all the 150 at once. You didn't pick it up. So all these companies, all these, let me see. All these companies, they have structural engineering areas where you can actually work. So those are companies that are, those are UK construction contractors that I'm copying there now. You can take them away, check them if they are on the list, if they are on the sponsors list, and then, but I'll add them to the video when I share the video. So you'll be able to, it's not letting me copy, it's saying it is too long. Mr. Simeon Ebekwe, please go ahead with your question if you are there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Please go ahead with your question.
Okay. Good evening all.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is the third time meeting you.
Oh.
We met at University of Greenwich.
Ah, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining.
Good one. And there was sometime last 2 weeks or last 3 weeks thereabouts. We had a call.
Yeah, we bumped into each other. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, sir.
Please go ahead.
Okay. I wish to know. I wish to streamline my area of interest because, like I told you, I've done course on project planning, how to use Primavera PCs to do scheduling and sequence of work and everything, and delay analysis, NEC contract and everything.
Yes.
Then also I have civil engineering back in Nigeria. So my issue now is I don't know where to focus on project planning role or sites, focus on sites, site managerial role. I don't know which one will be easier for me to navigate.
I think your first point of call is site engineering and site manager role. It will be easier for you to get in there than to get into project planning role. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try project planning still. You know, you can have a CV that is curated to site engineering roles and apply for that. And then you have another CV that you curate well for project planning role and apply for that. But with my experience in industry, it will be easier. It is easier to get that site engineering role than project planning role. It is easier. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't shoot for the two. Be open-minded and shoot for the two. You know, and I want you to even get into site first, regardless. You know, come in as an assistant site manager, come in as a site manager, come in as a site engineer. And then from then on, you can now build relationships, build on your knowledge of how things work in the UK, and you are still going to project planning, but come in with that level, and then you'll be able to take it up from there. Don't let the indecision stop you now. Just go hard, pick one. You know, if it is site engineering role, just pick it. If it is site manager role, pick it and get in. Because once you get in, a lot of things will become clearer to you, and you'll be able to even get more information to build yourself up, you know, rather than staying outside and be pondering which one to do. Get in as a site engineer, get in as a site manager, and then from then on you build up.
Okay.
Because the industry is so busy, you know, it is so busy, and there is room for growth. So that's why I wouldn't want you to be thinking, what should I do? What should I not do? Which one do you know how to do best? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Play to your strong point. You are an engineer from Nigeria. You've got all the brains. Bring those brains in here. And if you think you've gotten knowledge of project planning, chase that as well. it doesn't matter. You know, because at the end of the day, when you enter now, that's what you will do for the next 5 years. So you want to pick where you have the strongest point and what the one you like to do. You see, and you get your way.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. I hope to speak with you very soon, some other time.
No problem. No problem at all, brother. No problem.
Thank you.
Okay. We are going to be rounding up soon. I know there are a lot of questions, but like I said, this bit that we've done, it will be a starter. We'll do more and more and more. And I'm sure there will be people that will get jobs from this session that we've done. I think we put a lot of information out there. And I hope you find it fruitful. Okay. MSc in management, don't have construction experience. MSc in environmental management, don't have construction experience. Can I get a job? The YCSCS card is just a safety card. We must not forget that. You know, the YCSCS card is a safety card. So if you are, it's just a safety card. It doesn't show that you have knowledge of managing a site or any of that. So you can go in for with your MSc, which is equivalent of level 7. If I get my numbers right, I think it's equivalent of level 7. That is a very, very important qualification. You can still go in for junior roles. Let's say a role, let's say like an assistant project manager or like an assistant site manager. You know, there are some, there are a lot of companies that put, you see those companies that I put in and they put early careers. You can apply for that as early careers. They will not put too much pressure on you. They will give you the opportunity to grow and learn, you know, and then you'll be able to get in from there and build on your knowledge. Like I said, here in the UK, they value experience much more than qualification. So if you want to get that experience, find a way to get in, you know, in a junior role, those early careers jobs, Balforbiti, Line of Rock, go on all of them, try and get in and amplify your strong points in such a way that they'll be able to offer you a junior role, and then you come in and then you grow with them. Do we need to attach certificates along? No. We don't do that. We don't apply like that here. What you need to do is to make sure your CV is solid, your cover letter is solid. There are UK sample of CVs online. You can just go online and put UK sample CVs, and then you see the way UK CVs look like. Even on CV Library, you can see CV Library as well and see how a typical UK CV looks like. Okay, I am just picking up some things as well. Can I use my advanced NAPTEB? Your NAPTEB qualifications in plumbing, you can check with ECTIS and see if that qualification is equivalent to NVQ2 or NVQ3. And then they will give you that statement that your NAPTEB qualification is equivalent to after you pay them and all of that. And then you can now start using that to apply. But don't forget to research as well about UK plumbing, how UK plumbing works, testing, chlorination, all of that. And then you'll be able to get enough knowledge on UK, the way UK do their plumbing and everything else. What are the chances of healthcare professionals in construction, e.g. nurses and where you want to look at in terms of healthcare professionals is just the safety side, because you need skills to be able to work in any other part. You need training to be able to work in any other part. Some people are working in healthcare now just because of other reasons. Maybe that's where they've gotten jobs for now, but they've got experience in other fields. So you want to bring all those experience that you've gotten before and kind of align them to the job, because these employers are very specific. And that's why your CV must also target what the employer wants. So if you don't have that experience, if you have only healthcare assistant, you want to try and say, okay, which areas can I actually work? What kind of roles can I actually do? There are some sites that have nurses, nurses that run like tests. When I was on Crossrail, the site had a nurse that used to do tests for everybody, because they used to do random blood tests, random drug and alcohol tests. And it used to be a nurse that used to administer that. But that is on a big infrastructure project. I can't tell you that that job is readily available. So if somebody is working in healthcare now, but they've got previous experience in construction, or they want to start from scratch, work as a laborer, get a green card, when they don't have work restrictions, then they can get in. Okay. Nigeria, people are getting job from Nigeria straight away to the UK, and you say Nigerian experience is not valid in the UK. Do not discard your Nigerian experience. But what you want to do is to study the requirements that employers are putting out. When you study the requirements that employers are putting out, okay, for example, when a UK employer is asking for a site manager, they will say that risk assessment and method statement. Risk assessment is something that you will write on site in Nigeria as well, I believe. You will do site briefings in Nigeria as well, I believe, if you worked in companies in Nigeria. So all those experiences, they also count. So there are some experience that you have already that you don't even know you have it until you start reading these job descriptions. And you will see the way they ask the question, say, I can do this. This is exactly the things that I have done when I was working for Julius Berger or when I was working for all these companies. So do not discard that experience. Find the correlation where your experience marries up with what the employers are looking for. When you read a lot of job descriptions, you will see that your experience is actually valuable. So don't discard them, please. They are important when you are applying for these roles. Okay, a fresh graduate of civil engineering from a Nigerian university. I'm here to get my certificate, and I'm currently in the UK with right to work. I'm planning on doing my master's in the UK later in the year. But before then, what's the best way to get into the UK construction industry? I've talked about the green card. You can decide to start from the bottom since you have the right to work in the UK. Do the CSCS, the health and safety training, write the CSCS test, get the CSCS card, and just work as a laborer for a bit. That's a way to get in. And then you start building on network and then speaking to people. And also when you get your certificate back, you already know some people in the industry that can offer you some things that you can come into. You can also get your certificate and look at those junior roles, those early career roles, as we said, and try and get in through there. Those opportunities are there because, as I said earlier with the video that I played, a lot of house builders now, they will be looking to recruit. There are so many places where construction projects are going. Some people will be looking to recruit, and they will not mind taking you at a junior level and training you. They will pay you less, they won't pay you a lot of money, but they will give you the opportunity to get that experience that you need. Those are the things that you can start looking at as well. A carpenter that has WAEC, will need to get city and guilds. It's very, very important because most of these companies, they ask for MVQ. If you're good, even as a barber, most barbers that you see here in UK, I'm not talking of our own barbers. Our own barbers, they don't need those qualifications. But there are some barbering roles. If you go online now and say you're looking for barbering roles, they'll tell you that barber should have MVQ. If you're going to cook, or something, you must have a certificate that is equivalent to what they use here. So I will advise that carpenter, that joiner, to go and research into the kind of things that a UK joiner does. You know, a UK joiner, what are the kind of skills that is expected of a UK joiner, and then see if you can get city and guilds in joinery, you know, and then joinery and wood something, that's what they call it. And then you'll be able to get those roles. MSc academics in project management, where do I fit? I've mentioned that UK is big on experience, much more than qualifications. What other experience have you gathered in the past? How can we put that together to make a CV that will be attractive to some employers? Project management is very, very big. You know, which areas do you want to come in? Do you want to work in with a consultant, or you want to work in with a contractor? You know, do you understand construction procedures? Those are the kind of things you want to sit down and do a skills audit, and then you'll be able to put that CV in place to attack the jobs that you are looking for. If you want to get a job and you've got MSc in construction since 2022, or you've been working in the care sector for like 2 years, what you want to do is to make sure that your care sector thing, you don't want to put your care sector experience in your CV. That would not be what the employer is looking for at that time. So you've got an MSc in construction. Why not put SMSTS on top and first aid? Do SMSTS, do first aid, and try and apply as an assistant, you know, as an assistant site manager. Not go for a full site manager straight. An assistant site manager where you get the opportunity to shadow some people. You can apply directly to companies, as I said before, and you can apply to agencies as well, just to test the water. You have a little bit of challenge at the beginning because you've not had a lot of experience in your field, but if you are persistent because of the demand in the industry, you'll find somewhere to put. Well, I mean, for me as well, when I started, I was like tweaking my CV around, turning it around, you know, until I found somebody that gave me a chance. And that was just how it is. There were loads of rejections at the beginning, loads. But it is that persistent because you are persisting in an industry that has demand. And the funny thing is that those companies that you've called at the beginning, that they did not answer you, you see that they did not throw away your details. So 6 months, they will now start ringing you. Hey, Toib, are you still doing that job? Yes. We have a job in so, because the demand is there. You are not in an industry where there is no demand. So those people will have a job and they will think, let us try this guy, because he doesn't have a lot of experience, but we can still try him. So that is where you want to be, because there is demand in the industry. That means we have a chance, despite the refusals you get at the beginning. Okay. I think we've answered this. Hello, done with my. You can apply architectural designer. You can apply to both. You know, don't leave any. You can even apply to contractors. You know, look at both. Architectural designer, are you registered with ARB? You know, as part of your professional qualification, see how you can get that behind your name. Apply to architectural firms. Apply to you can apply as a draftsman as well, just helping people, contractors with CAD drawings and things like that. You can apply to consulting firms. You can do all of that. So please explore everything. Okay. Try to pick as much questions as possible. Slinger, if you have a white card, I don't think a slinger is a white card though. A slinger is like a trades card. I think a slinger is a blue and red. That's what a slinger gets. You have to do the slinger training. I can't remember how much they do it. So you have to do that training first. And then it is those training people that will help you to get, I think you get a red card first, and then you now get a blue card, which is a competent person. That was how it used to be, but you need to do a research and check that out. But Slinger is not white card. You have, Mr. Muftau, you have a lot of experience. You have a lot of experience. And I can assure you that it will not be long before you get a role that will suit you. You completed your master's here in the UK, and your master's is in civil in advanced structural engineering. Trust me, you have a lot of experience. And with the qualifications that you've put on, you have SMSTS. Wow. You've got ICE membership, you've got iStruct-E membership. Please do not stop pushing for these roles. Your job is coming and your prayers will be answered. You have a lot of it. You are even, I can say with what you've written here, you are more experienced than I am. So you are going to get your position. I can assure you. Please do not stop pushing. Architect with MSc and PMP getting a sponsorship from Nigeria. Of course, you can get a sponsorship from Nigeria. You could see the list of the companies that we walk through now, companies that can actually give you sponsorship. The thing now is to now say, okay, the companies you are applying to, get them from that list, go to their career section, look at the roles that they are putting out there, and then apply with the qualifications that you have. With an MSc in architecture and a PMP, you should be able to get something with a consultancy firm. But you have to go through all the list, check their careers, and apply for those roles. Geotechnical engineer, there are roles for you. There's a company called Bachi Solentanche. They do a lot of ground engineering. You can work with people that do ground engineering. Balfour Beatty also has ground engineering team. They do piling, they do all of that. There are roles for you. Please. You don't need to be a member of ICE, but if you are a member of ICE, it helps your course. It really, really helps you when you are applying for these roles. Wow. Okay. I think we have gone through a lot of questions, and I'll try and see if we can do this session, another session like this again. Hopefully, I'm trying to see what can work in such a way that I'll be able to give more, maybe like a more intimate session where we'll bring out CVs, and I'm just trying to work a lot of things out and see how much we can do. But I hope everyone that joined today have gotten value from what we have done. And I will cut the video as I should cut it, and I'll put it on YouTube. I'll try and attach the slide to it as well, put as much information as possible for it as well. And then we just want to support each other. We just want to help each other. These jobs are out there. I've been in a lot of meetings where I'm the only person from my background there. And I believe Nigerians, Africans, we have a lot of talent to fill these positions, and they are really, really looking for us. They really, really want people that are competent. So we can get some initial obstacles at the beginning, but trust me, I've met people that were really, really frustrated. And when they landed their job, they were like, so I will eventually get a job in this country. They got a job and they are doing well. Someone was messaging me the other time when we did the symposium the last time. There was someone that got a job of like £300 a day. He just came to the UK. He followed the things that I put out there, and he got a job. He actually sponsored like 2 or 3 tickets. He said he wants to give 2 or 3 tickets away so that I can bring people in for free. He was part of the people that sponsored free tickets. So those opportunities are there. I want to assure you to please not give up. put yourself together. If there's some bits that you need to top up in terms of education, in terms of learning, go for it. The jobs are out there and you are going to get what you want. You are going to get what you deserve. It doesn't take a long time. It looks long now because you are trying and trying. When you get the job now, you just say, every day I'm just going out, Friday, I'm getting paid. Every day I'm going out, Friday, I'm getting paid. And that's how it's going to be. So please, don't give up. Don't keep trying. I'll be here. If it is on LinkedIn, follow me on LinkedIn. If it's on YouTube, I'll put all the videos on YouTube. All the bits that we did in the symposium, all the experts that spoke, I'll put all of them on YouTube. Probably before the end of the week, you'll have that there as well. And I'll be sharing everything. Anything I pass across, I'll be sharing. So we can support each other and get to the next level. So thank you so much to everyone that has joined in. I mean, I love to be here. You know, like I said, I'll share as much information as I possibly can. But please do not give up. Do not give up. Your job is out there. Your job is out there. I can assure you. There is one thing that is stopping so many people is that resilience bit. Sometimes you can do 100 jobs. Sometimes it will be the 101 that you will get, you know. So take emotions away and just go as hard as possible. It has nothing to do with you, honestly. It's just the way the environment can be sometimes. So please, go ahead, keep firing on, and I'll be here cheering you on. Thank you so much for joining in. I mean, we still have about 100 people still on the space. I think we peaked at around 260 or something. I hope it has been worth your time. And hopefully I'll do this again and I'll let you know. I'll put the information out there when we can probably make it smaller, probably look at CVs. I'll figure out something. And if there is anything that you want me that I could have done better or you want me to include as well, anywhere you see my comments, put them on. You know, if I put a YouTube video on, put your comments there, and I will try and fine-tune it to make sure that we give you as much value as possible. Thank you so much, and let's have a wonderful week ahead. Please, don't give up. You know, I share my story a lot, and the one reason I can say I am here where I am now is because I just did not give up. It's because I just did not give up. If you have sent me a DM, I am so sorry and I have not replied. There is a lot. I get a lot on Facebook, on Twitter, everywhere. And I'm just the only one trying to do all of this. And that's why we are doing this kind of sessions as well. And there will be a session I'll do when it'll just be Q&A, and I'll go through all the questions I get. Hopefully it helps all of us as well. So thank you so much. Let's have a wonderful evening. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.